Hello everyone, welcome to Python learning series for network engineers. This is one of the subtopic in overall Python learning series in the channel. In this subtopic we'll see how to do multi-threading in Cisco device configuration backup using Python. So this series is going to have total 3 videos. In the first video we'll see how to initiate SSH connection to Cisco device using Netmeco library. Then execute show command, store that into a text file, and we'll see how to do a comparison of that in HTML format using DiffLib. DiffLib is available by default in Python. Then we'll see how to handle basic exceptions in Python like device not reachable, authentication failure and all. In the second video we'll see how to create a function for configuration backup, then how to use that function in multi-threading and pass multiple device variables, like we'll be using 2 or 3 Cisco devices, and we'll see how to take configuration backup parallelly from all these devices. Then in the third video we'll see how to schedule this configuration backup. There we'll be using the schedule library. So let's get started. So here I'll be creating a file. I will call this 01 underscore config backup compare.py. And first we will import Netmeco library. I have already installed Netmeco in my Python. Then to connect to a Cisco device, I will first create an object here. I will call this my router. I'll be using multiple devices in this demo. So one device is my lab device. It is CSR 1731. Its IP is 63. Then I have one publicly available DevNet device, Cisco DevNet device. The credentials are developer and C1 SCO12345 capital C. So we can either define these device parameters in a dictionary, or we can even directly pass that into Netmeco. For example, if I want to pass this particular device, I can just call this host equal to 0.63, username equal to and in Netmeco we always need to define the device type. I will show you from where we can get all these details. And once we connect to the device, we will just try to print the device prompt for our verification. So my router dot find prompt. This will try to find the device prompt and prints output, and after that we'll just print a statement saying that connected successfully. Let us try running this. So you can see here I am receiving my device prompt. That means the script is working properly. But instead of passing it in this format, we can even create a device dictionary here. So I'll create a dictionary lab underscore CSR, and inside that dictionary also we can define the device host /63 username device type, now if you want to pass that device details, in Python we'll be passing dictionaries as key value pairs, so keyword arguments will be giving keyword argument, so we need to give 2 stars here, then we can give the device lab CSR. Now let us try running this. So now also it is getting connected. Same way, if I want to add another device, I'll copy and paste it here. DevNet, I'll call this DevNet CSR, and to get the device details, so this is the DevNet device. I'll copy this. The username is developer. Yeah. Now if you want to connect to the DevNet device, I just need to change that. Let me try again. Okay, there is a typo here. So it is getting connected to even the DevNet device. Now I'll change this back to my lab device itself, because since it is going to internet for connecting to DevNet, there might be a delay. So now to take the configuration backup or execute any command, what we can do is show run output. I'll store it into a variable. So my router dot send command. There is a method called send command in Netmeco, and there I'll give show run. And if you want to get that output here, I can do a print of show run. So now I'm getting the show run output in my terminal. Now if you want to store this into a text file, we can use with open method. So before storing this into a text file, we will try adding even timestamp into it. So to add the timestamp, we need to first import the date and time. Then to get the current time, what we can do is I'll create another variable here, date time dot date time now. So before that, I'll just comment all this. I have just selected all these lines and given a forward slash print now. If I try printing now, this prints the current time. But here you can see this is even adding some microseconds. If you want to remove that, I can do a replace microseconds equal to 0. So now it is coming with the date and time. Now we will try adding that also into our configuration backup file. So I'll create another variable here. We can even write everything in single line, but for understanding it better, I'm just writing it in multiple lines. Current conf file equal to, and I'm going to create a formatted string, and there I will add the current time first, then underscore, then whichever device we are going to pass. So here we will be passing our 𝗟𝗶𝘆𝗶𝘀𝗄. Later we will see how to create a function and pass it dynamically, but for now I'll be passing 𝗟𝗶𝘆𝗶𝘆 host, because this is a dictionary and I'll be passing this data. So here the format is going to be the current time underscore the device host name, and then I'll add .txt. Now to write this into a text file, we can do with open, then the variable is going to be the current config file. So file name is going to be with timestamp, comma, we are going to do a write as my data. So this is just a variable, you can give anything here. Then my data dot write. Let me uncomment this. It is going to be the show run output. Now let us try running this. So here you can see we don't have any other file now. And now we have a text file. Let me open that file. So this contains the current running configuration. Now I will keep this as our reference config. So I will rename this to backup.txt, and I'll run one more time. Now we have a new file. Now if you want to do a comparison of these two files, what we can do is we'll first import DiffLib. By default this is available in Python. And then we can do a comparison of that. So for that we need to first open these two files. So I will create a variable reference and I will open first backup.txt and reference content. You can even use with open method. Reference content equal to reference dot read lines. So this will try to read each line of this backup.txt, because later we need to do the comparison. And after opening this we need to close it. So reference dot close, because we are going to use this variable later in the DiffLib. Now same way we need to create another variable for the current file. So new equal to open, and we already have the variable for current file, which is current conf file, and new underscore content equal to new dot read lines, and then we'll close the file. If you use with open, you can finish this in a single line. Then conf compare DiffLib dot HTML diff, and we'll have a look into HTML diff. So I need to click on HTML diff and press Ctrl B. Python will take us to the actual DiffLib file, and here we can search for HTML diff. So here you can see the description of that. So this generates side-by-side HTML difference of any two documents. So here we will be using the makefile method. So we will look into that. So I'll search for makefile. So this generates a complete HTML file with a single side-by-side table, and you can see the function here. So what are the values we need to pass there? So we need to pass from lines to lines, from description to description. So here from line means we'll be passing our this reference content and new content, because line by line we are reading here. So from and to we need to give. From description means for that column we are giving just a header. So from and to we can give some header. So we'll try setting that. So we'll be using makefile. Here itself we can see the details. So from lines we need to give reference content, so our backup.txt content, and two lines will give new content. Then from description we'll give backup reference. You can give any string here. Then to description we'll give formatted string, current, and we'll give the time, the text file with timestamp. And we'll try to write this into an HTML file. With open, and we can give any name here. I'll give diff.html, and I'm going to write as a new difference. Then new difference dot write conf compare. Now here what we'll do, we'll try making some changes here in our backup config. So I'll give 1.100 here. Let me copy and put one more interface here, 1003, and I'll give 3.1. I'll try adding one more route. I'll save this file and we'll try running again. Now here we have a text file with all the comparison. This is an HTML file, sorry. Yeah, this is an HTML file with the complete comparison, the line by line comparison. Now either you can go to directory and open it, or if you want to trigger a browser session, what we can do is we can import the web browser. And here we'll give web browser dot open new tab, and then we'll open the diff dot html. That let us run the script. So now you can see here this has triggered a browser session with the complete configuration comparison. You can see the table header here, the current time it is 23:52 and IP is 0.63, and we'll verify the configuration changes here. Here I have added IP address 100, and the actual IP is 1.10, and additional interface you can see here, then the additional routes. So all these details you will be able to see in the HTML format using this. In the next video we will see how to define a function, but now we will see how to handle some exceptions. Now here, if you try to simulate one authentication failure scenario, I'm giving a wrong password. So here Netmeco says, so here it is Netmeco authentication exception. To handle that, we will import Netmeco dot exceptions dot, okay, we'll import from import Netmeco authentication exception. And before using that method, what we'll do, we'll try introducing try except method here. Press tab, then I'll give try, and under that except. First we'll try printing all the exceptions. So print sys dot exe info. So we'll try running this. So here we can see the class details of the exception what is occurring. So you can see the details also. Now here, if we need only the class details, this is a tuple, so we can give the 0th element of that. So I'll give that. It is not mandatory to give, so for our understanding we are just giving. And I'll print a generic message saying that exception occurred. So now if you run this, this is coming under generic exception. Now if you want to handle separately, what we can do is except Netmeco authentication exception, and we'll print here authentication failed. Let us try running this. Okay, now we are getting the message. So it is matching here. Same way, if we give some invalid host name, so here it is coming under timeout exception. So we'll take a copy of that and we'll give Netmeco timeout exception. And here also maybe I'll give another message. Connection failure. So we're getting the message. Same way we can handle many exceptions. Netmeco dot exceptions import. If SSH port is not enabled or something, you can handle that as well here. We can give any message here. And if you want to get even the class details, you can add that also here. For example, if you put here timeout exception, we'll be getting even class details here. So in the next video, we'll see how to define a function and then enable multi-threading for executing all these configuration backups parallelly. I hope this video was helpful for you to understand basics about Netmeco. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.